Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, episodes 32 to 34. I'm so sorry that I wasn't here last week. I have 4 bullet points, and I don't have too many more bullet points this episode either. It's just that once we're winding down, there really isn't much to talk about because things become redundant. However, I do like the twist that the experts brought into this season. So before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So I'm kind of going to mix everything that happened in these 3 episodes. I'm not really going to talk too much about the dinner party or the commitment ceremony. It's just going to be like a mix of everything, right? So we have Dave and Jamie, who talk about the homestays and how beneficial it was and that they're on a better track than they were before.
Dave, where are your feelings at right now toward Jamie?
I've been showing up and she's been receptive of the gestures I've made, and that's helped me come out of my shell. You know, the last week, my feelings have grown. Do you feel like the last week has been great for us?
It doesn't take away the concern part.
So it's important to note that Dave had been showering this girl with gifts. You know, he bought her, I actually don't remember what he bought her, but he's been buying her flowers, he's been buying her gifts, right? And she's like, oh yeah, this is the Dave that I want to see, da-da-da, whatever. I think the show missed a great opportunity. No, 2 opportunities. They missed an opportunity to show us what it could potentially look like to support a partner who could be dealing with the mortality of a close family member, or anybody for that matter, right? He was dealing with his dad's cancer diagnosis. He hadn't known that it had since been, the dad had since been in remission, but show us what it looks like to care and support for somebody who has to care and support an ill family member. That would have been a great opportunity for the show to showcase that. Another would be, I'm struggling with my partner not expressing themselves more. I want to see what that rebuilding looks like. But instead, they're showing Dave buy gifts and buy flowers. We haven't seen him really change the way he expresses himself with Jamie, but Jamie's like, oh, we're back on track. Really? Missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. Anyways, at the commitment ceremony, she says she's not really sure if she loves him anymore. And she says that could be coming from fear. It's definitely coming from fear. He starts to cry and he says he's definitely going to be committed to rebuilding their relationship, and they both decide to stay. So Beth and TJ have been having a lot of tension, and they were debating whether or not they were going to walk in separately at the dinner party, but they decided to walk in together. Beth's big qualm with TJ is the fact that he sprung this information on her that maybe he's not ready to pursue a relationship on the outside. She feels like she's been played. I have some thoughts.
He can't answer a question about whether he wants to continue this on the outside or not. Yeah, it just really took me by surprise, yeah.
At homestays, yeah, I was met with, I guess, some questions. I was scared to give a yes or a no because in my mind, there are things missing for both of us.
There was definitely a disconnect from having sex. Like, we didn't kiss, we didn't really hug. I feel like there wasn't even much conversation.
But I don't think the romantic connection is growing for me.
Do you think it can change for you, TJ?
I don't think there could be anything drastic to change for me to grow romantic feelings over the next 2 weeks. I really don't.
So the problem that I have is actually with Beth. Beth was really irritating me because you mean to tell me this man said, emotionally, I'm not at the right place with you. I'm not on par with you, and I'm not on par with myself where I would ideally want to be. And you don't think to investigate that? You don't think, okay, let's try to build our emotional connection. Here are some exercises that we can do. Let's have some conversations, blah, 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 whatever. Instead, you're gonna engage in sex after a boozy night and think, oh, we're good now. Problem solved. It doesn't bother you that this man isn't emotionally connected with you? Like, you wouldn't wanna look into that? You wouldn't wanna build on that? Oh, so we're having sex now, everything is great. Girl, when you're unable to have sex for whatever the reason may be, maybe distance, maybe health reasons, maybe just libido is low, what else do you have? So that's a problem that I have with Beth. She's making it seem like she's been blindsided or whatever. Once you brought up the fact that, you feel like you're not getting the desire from him, he explained that he does desire you. However, emotionally, it's just not there. And because of that, he doesn't know if he can see a future with you. But you have a problem. And he was like, I don't even know how to handle this because when I say something, I'm blindsiding you. When I don't say anything, I'm a liar and I'm a politician. And then at the commitment ceremony, the experts are like, well, do you think that feelings can develop in the next few weeks? Mercy. And he's like, no, I don't think that they can. Then why are the experts going to say, hey, you need to be more direct and you need to stop with the word salad and it's time to stop giving mixed signals? What signals were mixed? You asked the question. He answered it very clearly and concisely. He said feelings will not develop in the next few years. I mean, can you imagine? Those feelings that you're looking for are not going to develop in the next few weeks. That's very clear to me. Anyways, they decide to stay. So whatever. Rhea and Jeff are doing well. They say that they are on the way to falling in love with each other. So I'm sorry, you gave somebody a key to your place and you're not even in love with them yet? Maybe I'm just too old school, but that is insane to me. Insane. I need to know that you are in love with me before I give you access to my sanctuary. Like, what? Fine. They're not beating the producer plant allegations from me, at least. Then we have, who else was on there? Karina and Paul. They aren't in love yet, but they have strong love for each other. And then they're talking about him wanting to explore religion. If I'm to take this relationship seriously, I do think that it is important for somebody to at least take interest in something that is so important to you. Now, Karina needs to be open to the idea that he might not want to be religious at all. And you just have to either accept that or go find somebody who is more equally yoked with you, right? I'm even going through that right now. I had a conversation with my mom last night. And although I'm with somebody who is also Christian, we are from different denominations. And so my mom was like, so the next time you guys see each other, like, go to church together and let's see if he really is interested in what you want to explore. Because he did say that, but it's one thing to say it and another thing to do it. So yeah, but I'm also open to the fact that he might not like my denomination. And I'm okay with that. Karina, on the other hand, doesn't give off that she would be okay with that. Like, she needs her man to be Catholic. So, yeah. Athena and Adrien, what do they talk about? They don't plan on moving together because they are very solid in the cities that they live in. He doesn't want to give up the business that he has made for himself or whatever. And then obviously she has a child. And then she admits that she doesn't want to have the hard conversations because she just got Adrien back. Athena. I ask again, is it low self-esteem? Oh my gosh. It is clear that these two are not going to end up together. So I am going to give the spoiler. She does end up with Billy. But I'm just here like, another guy who seems emotionally unavailable. Like, I don't know. Maybe these people are very different off camera, but the Billy that I saw on camera, it's giving Adrien light. But okay, girl, do you? The big issue that I have with Athena is the fact that she wants to delay the inevitable for instant gratification. That serves nobody. Sure, you're happy now, but you're just building a stronger bond with somebody that's eventually going to have to be torn apart. You know he doesn't want to be a stepdad, and that's not your fault. These people knew that, and they still put him with her. So that's on them. But now that you know, it is up to you to decide if you want to stay or go. But you stay. You know this man doesn't want to move closer to you because he has his life there, and he thinks that in the next 2 or 3 years, he's going to stay there, and you're deciding to stay. These two could barely figure things out in each other's presence, and you think it's gonna work long distance? Delusional. On to Jackie and Ryan. Now, I did say that I did have Jackie's back in one of those episodes. I don't always have Jackie's back, but when she was talking to the friends and stuff, I did have her back. However, every time I start to have Jackie's back, she then goes and embarrasses me because why was the table asking her about the letter and she was bold-faced lying? I never said those things. I never said that. I never did this. Girl, Jeff was there. You read the letter to Jeff. He can corroborate the fact that you said disparaging things about Ryan. The problem with these two is that they contradict themselves. And so it's really hard to have their back. Jackie more so than Ryan. But even sometimes when Ryan was saying things and Jackie was speaking against it, the group couldn't strongly say who was right, who was wrong, because these two are very duplicitous. One day everything's great, the next day it's in pure chaos. And we just don't know where they stand. Do they really like each other? Do they really want to work on things? We just don't know. So here at the commitment ceremony, Jackie's acting a damn fool, and the experts actually call her out on her behavior.
I've wanted more than anything to have a team. I don't believe that should come at the ultimate cost of who you are as a person. I haven't had a partner, I've had a critic.
You don't really feel like she ever accepted you.
As a person, and I knew...
He sees it as just his way, and you've got to accommodate to me.
Jackie.
Yeah?
So you don't see when you point out specific things, make him feel like he's not accepted by you as a person. You asked him last night why he didn't want to be great. It implies that you don't think he's great, that you're not embracing him.
Even the fight you picked the other day about my facial hair.
So at the dinner party, the group was saying, well, what are you accountable for? What will you accept accountability for? And she says, I will accept accountability for walking his dog wrong and for being too honest. This girl is so full of herself. Now the experts are saying, hey, your behavior is disrespectful. You are rude. You are berating your partner, and it is quite judgmental. And this girl starts to burst out into tears, as she always does. And now Ryan has to comfort her. I don't understand this relationship at all. So anyways, she says she really wants to work on things and she has a problem with his behavior, but she still wants to be with him. Very confusing. He says leave, she says stay. So by the rules of the experiment, they have to stay. And I'm sorry, I think this rule needs to be amended. If somebody writes leave for consecutive weeks, I think they should be allowed to go. Because what do you mean I'm saying leave? And the producers are like, or the experts are like, okay, that means you gotta stay for one more week to work it out. Well, I wanna leave again. I wanna leave again. It's not working. It's not getting better. Why am I held here against my will? I'm here under duress. Let that man go. They're obviously not going to work out. And so again, spoiler. Right now, Jackie is with Clint. And I'm thinking, that's the manly man that you... Okay. That's the manly man that you was crying about. All right, girl. So it is final test week. This is a new task that the experts have brought into the process. I really like it. I only have two recommendations for how they can make this better. Introduce it earlier in the season, especially when everything's coming to a head and people are like, no, I want to leave. I want to stay. Oh, I don't know what I want to do. Near the end, people are pretty much locked in on whatever their decision is. It's irrelevant. It's like on Love Island when they bring in a bombshell and there's 1 week left of the show. Don't waste that person's time. Bring them in at the middle when their feelings are at its peak. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, I think that it should be like an option where if somebody really wants to leave, they have the option of twisting with another potential match for them. But it can't be in like the first 4 weeks. You have to at least make it a month in. And if you still don't think that it's working with your partner, you get the option to swap with another potential partner. The same way that they brought back in Elliot with somebody who was a better fit. Same way they did with what's her face, Lauren. I think that would be cool. And don't even waste our time bringing in the 2 or the 4 new couples to see them get married. Irrelevant. We don't care. Bring in these potentials that didn't get a chance to come on the show. Now that is cool. So anyways, they're given the decision to meet their potential connections. Rhea and Jeff said no. Karina said no. Paul said yes. And TJ and Beth said yes.
I'm good to be around a positive. I think if you're a positive person, that's contagious.
Where are you from?
Ireland.
Ireland?
Where are you from?
I'm from Lancashire. What about Aussie girls? You're not a fan?
I've tried. It's just a banter thing. I feel like you... I feel like you'd rip the piss out.
Yeah, I'm fancy. I'm so
I need... Yeah, and I like that.
I'm a very confident, successful, motivated woman.
I'm half Indian, half Greek.
Ethnic.
Very ethnic.
That's a checklist.
Tara's definitely assertive. She knows what she wants, which is nice. I kind of like that. You can see why the experts would have matched Tara and I together for sure.
So I personally thought the banter between O'Shane, I don't really know how to pronounce his name, and Beth was good, but she says that it's not as good as her and TJ's banter. So, all right. TJ, on the other hand, was attracted to his person. He didn't get to a point where he was like, yeah, you know what, Beth is the one that I want to focus on, and she's not happy about that. But girl, he had problems with you before going on a date with this person. Of course, going on a date with a person is not gonna make it be like, oh yeah, now I really like Beth. No, the problems were there before the person came in. Like, I don't know what she was expecting. I don't know. But yeah, with these two, it's definitely going to end by decision day or whatever it's called, final vows. Yeah, they're not proceeding. With this new girl, I don't think that they would have been compatible, like her and TJ. I think that he wouldn't be able to keep up with her. She seems like that fun-loving, bubbly person who it seems like TJ wants to explore. But I also think when it comes to emotions, she might be very strong as well. She seems to be just as like, she seems to have the same amount of fervor for emotions as she does for fun. That's the impression that I get from her. And it seems like right now, TJ is somebody who struggles with like big emotions. So I think he would have had a hard time regardless. Paul ends up going on a date with Hannah. Immediately, he was not feeling it. Hannah wasn't feeling him either, so that's good. But he says he just went on the date out of curiosity, not because he wanted to see if there was a better connection for him. Well, that curiosity...
Hey.
What do? I like to travel.
You like to travel?
Yeah, I like to hike. Why didn't it work out with your wife?
No, everything is working really well with my wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm genuinely, like, pure. I was just very curious.
Hey.
What do you mean? Oh,
You didn't go?
No, I did. But no, but like, don't worry. What the I was like, this is a joke. I was like, this is a joke. When I got there, all I'm on table still ran away. I got there, and then, oh my God, as soon as I met her, first of all, physically, what the hell? The whole time, I was like, literally, I could just see your face. I was seeing your face. I was like, oh, take me back. It just made me realize how much I like you, how much I like our relationship.
That's just weird.
I'm sorry if I know you feel weird about it, but do you hear what I'm saying? Like when I say, like, it just made me feel...
Oh, I feel sick. It's just like really hit a nerve for me. You should know my morals, you idiot.
No, I've been shitting on you, babe.
No.
I was so embarrassed, and I was talking about you the whole time.
Don't do it with other girls. No, that. So much better than this. Do you think Rhea and Jeff would have done something like that? Maybe because they're older.
I don't like how Paul always feels the need to over-explain things. It makes him look very suspicious. He even said on the date, you know, I'm very loyal. I just get curious sometimes. Where does the curiosity end? And as much as I think that Karina is overdoing it, being like, oh, you cheated. This is you cheating. You're cheating on me. Girl, it's a freaking experiment. Like, it's an experiment. Be so for real. I would have a question like, well, where does your curiosity stop? Because you could say, oh, well, somebody gave me their number and I was just curious what they would want to talk about. She invited me over to the place and I just was curious what the place looked like. She did say her coochie game was A1 and I was just curious to see, like, please. If you are loyal, you are just loyal. Curiosity is not going to be a stumbling block for you. Rhea and Jeff, and even though I don't feel like Karina should have kept comparing herself to them because that's a totally different relationship, Rhea and Jeff didn't even consider the curiosity of it all. It was like, I'm solid with my person. I don't need to go down that road. For what? I still have a problem with Karina and the fact that she has bigger issues with the fact that he aired her dirty laundry, or now the fact that he followed through on a task that was given to them by the experts and now she considers that to be cheating, over the fact that he put a hole in the wall. I don't think people understand what a slippery slope that is when it comes to like physical abuse or emotional abuse, any kind of abuse, really. Such a slippery slope, and she did not have enough vim for me when it came to that. But she's more upset at something that was directed by the experts. Granted, he could have said no, but still, it was prompted by the experts. And it doesn't actually put her life in danger. Whereas him putting a hole in the... Anyways. And somebody in the comments did say, because I was like, why is Paul still here and we don't get to see the fact that he's going to anger management? Somebody said that's a breach of privacy. Sure, they could have alluded to the fact that he was going, because that was the stipulation for keeping Paul. We are keeping you with the intention of sending you to said environment, to said intervention, whatever. And we don't get to see that, or we don't get to see proof that he's been doing that. No, Paul should not have stayed then. Paul should not have stayed. Anyways, final vows are coming soon. I think it's going to be like on Sunday or something. So the rest of this week will still be the final test week. I'm so intrigued to see who they bring in for Jackie. Because who the hell else would have been compatible with this girl? Who? I would love to see it. So anyways, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.